Coach Gus Argenal joins the Marching to Madness College basketball podcast as he undertakes UC Riverside, who have turned into a tough out in the Big West Conference. Coach Argenal assisted Eric Musselman at Nevada and Arkansas as he has 19 years of collegiate coaching experience. Coach Argenal coached the Cal State Bernardino basketball team the last two seasons and recorded 50 wins plus a trip to the Division II Final Four. Coach, bring us up to date on Cal State San Bernardino and what happened there. You're building a program at a high level in two seasons.
Yeah, thank you, Wolf. First off, Ken, thanks for having us, having me on. I really, really appreciate it. I'm excited. I've watched and listened to, I think I'm number 1,000 and something. So I've seen a lot of what you've done. You're a worker, so thank you for having me. I was doing what you're doing. I'm trying to work hard and build a program, and we had a lot of success at San Bernardino. And again, was lucky enough that down the road, 20 miles or so, UC Riverside pops up, and just honored to be the new head coach here, to be a part of a program that already has a great trajectory, started by Coach Magpio and taking the reins a month and a half ago. It's been a great start, but yeah, it goes back to the success we had at San Bernardino, and I was lucky to coach some great players that got us to a Final Four and two NCAA tournament runs.
Let's start with Muss. Ironically, Coach, he was on yesterday. So tell us about working with him and the things that you may have perfected as you look at your first head coaching position, albeit at the D1 level.
Yeah, I was really, really lucky at a young age. Coach Muss kind of plucked me out of the Division II ranks when I was a head coach at Cal State East Bay. Went with him at Nevada. Was there for 2 years. We had a top five team with the Martin twins, and then had a 2 year span in between where we didn't connect, and then we got back connected at Arkansas. And the thing you learn at a place like that is just so many big moments, so many big games, how to prepare, the type of recruiting that you need to have to recruit, five McDonald's All-Americans in total with him, and having a top two recruiting class, the day to day that goes into it, the hard work. And then I would say on top of everything, you just spoke to him, the creativity it takes to have a program, that is not only successful on the floor, but off the floor, marketing, and then having your student athletes develop to be able to be pros at the next level. You take so much on a day-to-day basis. You don't even know what you're getting while you're around somebody like that. But coming here now, you take a lot of it. You take the ability to schedule the right way for a first year head coach. You take recruiting out of the portal, which obviously is probably number one for coaches that take over a job in the spring. They have to do that, but also being able to recruit high level, high school and international players. You take how to work with your administration and how to build a program from the start, what it takes to work hand in hand with your athletic director. And luckily, we have a great one here in West Millet. But every day when you're around somebody like Coach Musselman, you take things you don't even know, and you take things that he got back when he worked with Tom Thibodeau, his father, who was the head coach of the Timberwolves. He worked for Chuck Daly. So many lessons, so many stories. I have too many stories to even tell you right now, Ken. But again, lucky to have that, be a part of his coaching tree. And I'm honored now to be here. And I wouldn't be here without the opportunity I had coaching for him for 4 years.
You mentioned the transfer portal. Once you were hired, how do you come into place to recruit and immediately define players?
It's tough right now. And the one thing that I would say is, in a place like mine, we took over, we have two returning student athletes from the roster before. And I think that's a new trend. That's a new norm. So we had to recruit 11 scholarship players in about 3 weeks because there was a dead period from the 21st to the 1st of June. So in doing that, it's finding the right players quickly, finding the right type of people, making sure that they fit our academic profile. UC Riverside is a top 30 school in the United States of America. So finding the right fit for that. And then again, somebody that fits in our campus community and somebody that, wants to come out here to California and be a part of the sun, the palm trees, and be pretty close to the beach. Not on the beach, but pretty close, and have a chance to play in a really, really tough Big West. But it's about the right fit. Right now, it's happening so quickly that you have to be able to evaluate basketball wise, academically, the right type of person, family. And you really have to be cut and dry when it comes to, yes, this looks good. This looks like a good fit in all those areas. And if there's something missing, I don't think you can take chances on that right now. You have to make sure that it's a great fit for the overall picture. And then you have to go on to the next player, unfortunately. And it's speed dating, but you have to, have the ability to communicate and get deeper in a quick amount of time.
Just on the record, real quick, I love California. It's my favorite state. Every time I go out there, I feel like I belong.
You do. You're welcome anytime, any home game. Come on out. You can't beat it. The great thing about UC Riverside is we're about 45 minutes to an hour to Palm Springs, so you can get your golf in. We're about the same up to Big Bear, so you can go to the mountains if you want to ski. I don't know if you're a skier. And then we got an hour to the beach. So you got it, and we have an hour to downtown, so you can go watch a Lakers game. We got it every. You can come right here. This is your center spot.
Excellent. You sold me
There we
already.
go. You're
Yeah. Of
in.
course, you're probably the 521st first person to sell me. So you're on the list anyway, Coach. Hey,
Coaches have a way of doing that.
it's quite a compliment, I think, in being on the list of the 50 most impactful high major assistant coaches, and then, the 75 future head coaches.
Yeah, it's. I think when you're coming up in this business, been doing it for 21 years now. I've
Mhm.
been working towards this opportunity my whole life, and it's my journey is probably a lot different than other coaches. I wouldn't say follow my journey because I have a lot of stops. I think there's 11 stops total, and I always say I'm kind of been a salmon swimming upstream a little bit, trying to find my way. I didn't grow up in a basketball family, so again, to be mentioned, in those type of groups, to be able to be a Division I head coach, I'm one of the few, Latin American, Latino head coaches in America, and the one on the West Coast. I take a lot of pride in that. For me, it's something for my family. My dad, my mom, my stepmom have really supported me and my family. My two boys have had to move a lot. My wife has had to move a lot, so I'm lucky to have somebody that supported me. But yeah, I'm honored, and to be sitting in one of these 360 so seats is really special for me and my family.
You bring in a talented shot blocker in BJ Colley from Montana State, talented shooter in San Francisco State transfer Jalen Daniel Dalton, and then Dre Petit at Westmont College.
Yeah. With us right now, Ken, it's funny. You're talking to somebody that we can't even talk about our whole roster because they're still getting signed as we speak. And, the rules don't allow us to do that. But with the players, that you just spoke to, BJ Colley being a transfer, I saw him play at the Division II level. Being at Cal State San Bernardino, he was a dominant player and went on to play at Montana State. And for us, having size, speed, athleticism, somebody that can change shots is really, really important. But he's also really skilled with the ball. He can play on the floor and in space. Dre Petit is a I'm from the Northern California area. He's from Northern California. He's just an overall winner, a tough guy. Played at Salesian High School and then went on to play at Westmont and played in our region as well, Division II, and had success as freshman of the year in the Pac West. So we're excited about him. And then Jalen Daniel Dalton, I believe, is the last person you spoke to. And we had to compete against him when he was at San Francisco State in a 6'6", 6'7", versatile, 2-3-4. He's even played small ball 5. And I think at this level now, everybody knows how well Division II players have been translating to the Division I level, and so being a Division II head coach before, seeing that, understanding that, I was trying to find the right guys with the right size that can come in and make an impact in such a good Big West league right now. But we're excited about those three off the bat.
Real quick, another note and anecdote. The last time I was in San Francisco, I didn't rent a car. I rented a bicycle. I biked 41 miles in 6 days. Went to Stanford, went to Cal, up to Oakland so I could see where the Raiders and the A's played, or the Raiders, yeah, A's and Warriors.
I'm from NorCal. If you're in San Fran, you do not want to rent a car. You definitely don't want to be driving in a bus. You want to try to get a bike, a skateboard, whatever you like to do, and get around as quick as possible. Did you hop on BART?
Yes, I did. Bart was
Wow.
great. Yeah. Oh,
You see,
yeah.
you're pretty big time. If you can get on BART and manage your way to get to the other side of the tunnel, that's pretty good. So congrats to you.
That was great. It was fun. Discuss your thoughts as you prepare a half court offense. How deep does the playbook become based on player skills, and then what will be current opponents?
Yeah, when you build out your team, you build out your roster, you build out your playbook, it all depends on all three of those things and how they play together. All these guys in the summer, that's the one thing that is different from Division II to Division I. We have a summer where we can, do what we do in the fall, which is find our identity. And that's a big piece of it is our playbook has to fit our identity. Do we want to attack the rim more? Are we a better three-point shooting team? Are we cerebral enough to be a high assist team? We want to be able to, again, get 200 passes a game. We want to spread the floor. We want to get, have a high free throw attempt team. So for us offensively, it's trying to find those sets, those actions, those concepts that fit what our players do best. We may not be the best back to the basket team. We still have to find that out. We may be a better transition team, off of our defensive stops. We may be better, executing sets than just playing free flowing. So, in the first 2 to 4 weeks of the summer, that's my job, is to figure out what our identity is going to be offensively to fit our defense. But again, the playbook, as we all know, a lot of times we get down to 50 to 100 plays. And when you work for Coach Muss, you might even have 150. You never know. But at the end of the day, when you're playing in the NCAA tournament, I've been a part of 6 of those NCAA tournament runs. You really get down to maybe 6 to 12 plays that you run the most. And there's probably 6 to 12 options out of each one of those, for a certain player or for a certain type of action that you want, whether it's a zoom, whether it's a pin down, whether it's a flare, whether it's a post up. So again, we have some base things that have worked, in all of my stops that I've kind of combined through my 6 years as a head coach. And we'll take our time to find the right fit for this team, but we feel like we have some talented scorers that are signing up, and some really good ball handlers, playmakers, that can get into the paint and make plays for each other.
A lot of folks need to realize the stature of this program is really nice because it's the second winningest team in the Big West in the last 5 seasons.
Yeah, it's when I started looking at the position when it opened up, Coach Magpio took the Fordham job, who I know you spoke to as well.
Yeah.
And I know Mike really, really well. Has just done a great job. It's been the best 5-year run of any head coach, in the Division I era. You look at it, and for me, like I said, it's exciting. I took over Cal State San Bernardino after Andy Newman had a Final Four run, and the next year we were lucky enough to go back to the Final Four. And so that's something that doesn't scare me. It excites me to be able to take over a place that's seen winning, that understands winning, that knows what it takes to have a team advance farther, and then also to play in the postseason, being an NIT. Our goal is to try to get to the NCAA tournament, as everybody that gets on your call is to play in the big dance. There's nothing better for a student athlete and for a staff and for a department and school. So that's my goal, but really it's to have us playing as far as we can, in the postseason and advance in March, and have a great run and playing our best basketball when it comes to March.
I was just curious about your style. I was wondering how you force tempo with your defense, and do you press all over, then maybe half court, then maybe trap, on either side? Some things I
Yeah, so you know, my background is much more man-to-man focused, picking up man-to-man, full court. We'll do some things running and jumping in the half court to try to not overextend ourselves to change tempo. But in the full court, after every single make, we pick up full court. We shadow the ball with our whoever's guarding the inbounder. We make it really hard for teams to have their first pass entry into the defense. But then we want to play great positional defense and use our size and length to get steals on the weak side. We're a huge midline, center line. We call it the blue line help team. And so that allows us to create, turnovers that then again lead to our offense. And that's a huge, focus of us being in a great position defensively. But just like on offense, you want to put a player in a great position on offense and let him make plays. On defense, we want them to be in great defensive position. And then we let them make plays as well, whether it's going for steals, block shots, trying to get. There's not as many charges being taken, but we'd love for them to try to take some charges and go vertical. But again, let them make plays like they do on offense, on defense, to try to give us some easy baskets on the other side.
You've been a reoccurring developer of NBA talent with guys like Anthony Black, Ricky Council, Caleb Martin.
When you say those names,
Mhm.
Ken, I wish we could get some more of those guys over here to Riverside right now. But I've been so lucky, starting in Nevada with the Martin twins. My first coaching job actually at Arizona State, I coached Ike Diago. I was a graduate
Oh,
assistant. So
yeah.
yeah, you remember him. He was an unbelievable player, but I've
Yeah.
been around, 10 to 12 NBA players, and I think 9 currently right now. When you work with those type of student athletes, you have to have a plan every time you walk out on the floor with them. They just want you to help them get better on a daily basis. And a lot of times you only have them for 7 to 8 months. So you have to have a great plan when you come in the summer, and you have to follow through with the plan. Even if they're not playing great in November, into December, January, you have to do it their entire career. And so I've been lucky to coach the Anthony Blacks, the Nick Smiths, Jordan Walshes, the Ricky Councils of the world. Jalen Williams, who's playing in the NBA championships right now, they got a chance to get it done here in a couple days. But when you have players like that, one, it makes you be a better coach because you have to be prepared to get them where they want to go, and you have to have a plan constantly. And I thought that at Arkansas, we did a phenomenal job of daily putting time into the personal development, which I think at times gets lost right now as players are transferring so much. And, we lose a little bit of sight of that's why we do this is to develop young men into great people and into great players and to make sure they're, on track academically.
I always think that summer practice and summer workouts are the beginning of the next season. What is your approach to the rudiments of each practice now that I think you've got 4 hours a week? Is that correct? Or am I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you're right on. You could be in compliance right now. You're dialed. Four on the floor, four in the weight room. Um, the focus right now is this. You're laying a foundation. You're making sure that the main thing is the main thing, which is that they're working extremely hard, that they're together, that there's great energy, that they're having fun. The summer can become a long process. Here at UC Riverside, we're actually, on the quarter system. So we just got out of school last week. We just
Yes.
got done. So we start about a month later and we go, a little bit longer in the summer. But again, just making sure that they know the pace, the type of DNA that we have, how we cheer for each other, when we have success, just what we do and how we do it is so important. I think that's how you build your camaraderie. And the teams that I've been a part of that have made, Elite Eight, Final Four runs, they've had great summers. They've
Mhm.
come, in shape. They've been together. They've had fun. It's a great time to be around each other outside of it because campuses are a little bit quieter, and so it's more time to be together. So we're super excited about getting our guys here and getting them to work.
Last thing, Coach, we've had an excellent and engaging NBA championship series here with the Thunder with a 3-2 lead as we record this over
Yep.
the Indiana Pacers. Game six in Indiana, what is tomorrow evening. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton could potentially miss game six, although I think he's going to play, with that strained right calf. How do you evaluate he and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as their catalysts of both of those teams?
Whew. It's, I'm just going to go off Alexander to
Yeah.
start because you could talk about both these guys. I've just, when you talk about development, when you
Mhm.
look at Alexander and what he's become right now and the way that he can create, it's amazing to see the shots that he makes. What I love about every NBA Finals is it becomes this new person's journey story, and right now it's his.
Mhm.
He's just taken on. He has that feeling of these NBA greats right now. He made a shot, and I think it was 2 games ago where he was almost falling out of bounds to the left, step back, and when you have, to have a great team to win an NBA championship, just like in the NCAA tournament, the guard play has to be so exceptional to get it done. And the way that he's creating shots for himself, drawing so much attention, it's just fun to watch. And I think for young people when they watch, these guys play right now, you have to look at where they started when they were in college and where they are now and how much they've developed their game, even in the NBA. And I think that's what I take so much from this NBA Finals is how much these players that obviously were extremely highly recruited and drafted high, but they're just continuing to develop their game. So, yeah, we better buckle up for this next game here. It's going to be a wild one. There's so much good guard play going on right now. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm biased. I have Jalen Williams
Yeah.
from Arkansas in it, so we have our fingers crossed that he gets a championship done, and it'd be awesome to have somebody in our tree along with Moses Moody, getting an NBA championship.
Coach Gus Argenal, Coach, it's a pleasure having you on Marching to Madness, and I hope we can do this again sometime. I've learned a lot here just talking to you because you're a new person.
Well, I'm honored. I'm fired up. I would love to do it for as long as possible. Thank you so much for having me on.